Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you are watching in this world. Welcome to another episode of our Navigating Polygamy Series. In this episode, I'd like to dwell a little bit into the book that I wrote. My book, Marry 2, 3 or 4 But, is available on Amazon, Lulu, and Kobo platforms, and I hope you will buy it. Talking about polygamy comes with a lot of challenges because it's deemed a very controversial and emotional subject in current times. Writing about it also has challenges. However, you have time to think about what you want to say. Although, of course, as people read the book, they may challenge some of the premises, and that's fine. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions. But I hope you do read it, and please provide us your comments. We'll be very happy to read them. The title of the book, Marry 2, 3 or 4 But, comes actually from a verse found in the scriptures of the Muslims, Quran, where God Almighty instructs the men to marry 2, 3 or 4. Indeed, it is something that many scholars consider as recommended to have more than one wife. But we're not going to go into that subject today. What I want to talk to you today about is my book in brief and what is my aim and objective with this book. I like to remind the viewers that I'm using the term polygamy to mean one man marrying more than one woman. And we discussed previously also about the history of polygamy, and we said that it was a male-dominated practice. And we also said that there was not much contention in society for this practice. We also talked about promiscuity levels between men and women, and we demonstrated also there that men have a significantly higher level of desire and promiscuity than women. And we also said that the people who suffer as a result of this promiscuity are the women and children. From an Islamic perspective, it was not the case that men were marrying one woman and then Islam suddenly came with the idea that men should marry more than one, up to 4. No, men were marrying several women. And in fact, Islam came and restricted it to 4. And with that restriction came several very serious and very difficult conditions for the man to fulfill in order to have 4 wives. It's also very important to point out that the verse I quoted earlier, God Almighty starts with 2. And many Muslim scholars believe that this is the foundation for marriage, more than one. But as I said earlier, it comes with very stringent conditions, and it's based on fairness and justice to all his wives. And a severe warning is actually given for men who do not fulfill that responsibility properly. Polygamy in current times has become a very taboo subject, whereas it wasn't the case in ancient times. What happened? What I believe in the early 20th century, when secular liberal values started to shape the minds of society and tradition was put aside, with that the notion that genders were equal became vogue. And you hear the term gender equality all the time. Yes, if we were to be equal, then one man would marry one woman and one woman would marry one man. Or one man would marry 4 women and one woman would marry 4 men. That would be equal. However, equality does not necessarily mean equity. They're not physically, biologically, mentally, or emotionally equal. There are stark differences, and it makes no sense that the Creator would legislate laws to humankind on the foundation of equality. So the obligation of the Creator is to legislate equitably according to His supreme understanding of His creation. And the benchmarks that He uses, we believe, are always fair and equitable. Hence, we can disregard this term gender equality and replace it with gender equity. As a practitioner of polygamy for the last 20 years, I thought it would be a novel idea to write about how we can navigate such a lifestyle and all the pros and cons that this lifestyle entails. What this book is not about, it's not about telling men to marry a second wife. It's about explaining a reality that is uncensored and unfiltered, because facts, they don't care about our feelings. If families are going to experience polygamy in one way or another, this book basically covers a reality about the complexities and the difficulties that such a lifestyle contains. Despite it being a controversial and emotional one, it is also an interesting and intriguing one. Also, this book cautions men who wish to take this journey to be very careful and observant and cognizant about the stability of their first families. And it also cautions men to avoid at all cost any illicit arrangements. Polygamy, as we've said before, is not infidelity. In a future episode, we'll explore the idea of women marrying more than one man and show you how ridiculous and senseless it actually is. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.